just gonna take whatever's left to kind of blend my crazy vein on that temple. It's me, Jacqueline. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome to Dreams, Music, and Makeup. I'm glad you're here. Consider subscribing if you are into beauty videos. I post them twice a week and would love for you to be a part of them. All you have to do is click that subscribe button down below, as well as that notification bell to stay updated on all my latest videos. I would hate for you to miss something. Not gonna lie, I'm wearing 2 shirts and it's very gloomy and wet and cold outside, and I am just digging it. I love fall, so this is ideal for me. I'm a happy camper, but it is quite chilly in here. I make sacrifices filming for you. I actually just paused the Shane Dawson video that he just launched today to film this for you, so that is real dedication. I was thinking of showing you guys more of a minimal makeup look today because this is what I've been heavily relying upon during the last week or so of my real life. Some products that I've been using, what I've really been loving on the skin as far as these more low maintenance days for someone who's pretty high maintenance when it comes to makeup. Everything that I have been into, it's a mixture of high-end and drugstore products, which is kind of different. I usually stick to mostly drugstore around here. I do have a couple of new products to test out today as well, just because I figured, why not? If it goes poorly, then make for some more funny bloopers for 2018. I'm always up for an adventure. I love trying new makeup. If I haven't told you this already, I do stock up like a lot of my bloopers and everything, so you don't see them at the end of every video because I don't always have them for every video. However, I do keep all of the bloopers from the year and compile them into a video for you guys towards the year end when I'm taking more of a break. Around like Christmas time or New Year's, something like that is when I'll post the bloopers. So make sure you are subscribed if you want to be first to know when that comes up. I reorganized my drawers lately. I feel like every time I open them, there's something I don't quite remember where it is, and I open like 3 or 4 drawers before I find it. Today it was primers. I'm gonna go in with this L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion as my primer because I'm not really trying to do anything too intense or glam today, but this will give some glow back to my skin. Let's start with our eyes. I am gonna use a little bit of eye primer. This is the CoverGirl Lid Lock Up primer. I've been testing this out recently, and so far I do like it, but I am still kind of in the trial testing phases. I a lot of times will not generally use an eyeshadow primer. I will use a concealer, but just in case you have a longer day ahead of you, I don't want this look to fall apart on you. As nice as concealers can be for making an even canvas, they don't tend to hold up for long wear very well, at least on eyelids like mine that tend to crease and fold over themselves and that sort of thing. It's just not ideal for wear. Shadow, just a little bit of shadow today. I'm going to take a loose fluffy brush. This is kind of a natural brush, and I'm going to dip it into this Milani Day Glow highlighting powder. This is a face powder, and I'm just going to dust that on the inner portion of my lid, just not too high up onto my crease. I don't want an opaque color, I just want a light wash, is why we're using this loose brush. Now that we've done that, I'm going to pick up a bronzer. This is the You're Dragging Me Down limited edition bronzer from Wet n Wild. This was their Fire and Ice Dragon collection. I'm taking a Wet n Wild crease brush. This is the new e.l.f. Tapered blending brush. I wanted to show you guys this because I just took it out of the packaging, so I am going to be trying it for the first time, but I've never seen a brush designed quite like this. It's interesting because I was looking at the ferrule because I noticed it was at an angle, and it's actually triangular. This ferrule is pinched into a triangle shape. It's so interesting to me. I'm going to add a little bit more of that bronzer into our crease using a slightly smaller brush, a little bit more color. Focus it at the lower portion of where we already applied that crease shade. also going to add some of that on the outer corner. I'm going to go in with the lighter bronzer that I'm going to be using all over my face. This is the Hula Light from Benefit, and I'm going to take that on a more dense kind of crease brush. Since there's no tint to that eye primer, this helps to just blend out that edge, since that bronzer is a little bit darker than my skin. Makes it look a lot more seamless. Now that we have that eyeshadow in place, let's move on to the face makeup. I'm going to reach for this Tarte Creaseless Concealer. I picked up the full size in the shade 13N, Fair Light Neutral. This is a pretty good match for my actual skin tone right now. And I really like how hydrating and full coverage this is. I got a sample of it in my Sephora order with a purchase, and I really, really like it. You get so much coverage out of this. That is about all I will need for either of my under eyes. I'm gonna add a little bit. And I'm also going to put some on the areas of my face that get really red. This is my Maybelline Face Studio Blender. If you haven't been around here very long, this is my favorite beauty sponge. It'll only set you back between $4 and $6 depending on where you choose to purchase it. They last me a couple of months before they kind of lose their bounce back and just kind of stay crumply, if you know what I'm saying. That little bit of product made all the difference and lightened up that whole area. I'm just going to take whatever's left to kind of blend my crazy vein on that temple. Do the same thing over here. And I'm pretty happy with that level of coverage. So now you can see that while my skin isn't perfect, it's evened out just enough to look like I did something. And that's what we're going for. I'm going to grab an under eye setting brush because I'm going to go in with the Milani Prep Set and Glow. This is an illuminating pressed face powder from the drugstore. I hope that they come out with more colors because I think this would struggle a bit once you got into the more medium to deep skin tones. But I think it's really beautiful for kind of maintaining more of a hydrated look under the eye. There's no sparkle to this. In case you were wondering, there's just almost a satin glowy finish to this powder without it having any pigment. I'm going to reach for a slightly newer product, well, new to me. This is the CoverFX Perfect Setting Powder in the shade Light. I'm going to take some of that on this big Sonia Kashuk large powder brush. I believe this is the number 100. Just getting a light coat on there. And I'm just going to lightly swirl this all over my face to get a little bit of coverage. I'm not worrying too much about my forehead since I do have bangs, so just keep that in mind. If your forehead shows, you can pay the same amount of attention there as the rest of your face. Oh shoot, I was gonna use a cream blush today. I think we still can, but let's not do any more powders. Great job, Jacqueline. Great job. I'm going to take the bottom of my Maybelline Face Studio Blender and dip into this e.l.f. Soft Peach Cream Blush. This is from their Beautifully Bare collection, and I guess it is the same as the Bare Peach shade, but they just renamed it. I'm kind of scared because I don't know how pigmented it's going to be. Let's do this first. Not too crazy. Now let's go back to bronzer. I wanted to talk to you guys about something really quick, and that is why this has been my go-to makeup lately. And that is because, well, to quote myself from earlier when I was texting with a friend of mine, I am in slightly like headless chicken mode. I didn't get to tell you guys this yet. There hasn't really been a good opportunity for me to, but I am actually moving in like 3 weeks. So 3 weeks from tomorrow. I am a little stressed. My house is really chaotic right now. I am a little bit everywhere right now, so if I seem distracted or if I seem like I'm really struggling to keep up with video schedules and stuff like that, that's exactly why. But it's all for good reason, and the dust will be settling eventually. Hopefully by the time the holidays roll around. Before I forget it, there was another new product I wanted to try with you guys, and this is from NYX. This is the Sheen Spirit Eye and Face Gloss. Now, I almost tried this out in another video, but because I was so full glam, it just didn't make sense. So I have this kind of new dual fiber brush. I don't know what I think of it yet. So far, I'm not that impressed. This is the Morphe M461. I've tried it for eyeshadow, I've tried it for highlighting. I'm just not a super big fan of it as of this point. Face gloss I was mentioning, I picked up the neutral shade. They had a couple of different undertones so that people with more of a deep skin tone could utilize it as well. This one is more of a clear with gold. Interesting. It looks like it has both pink and gold glitters. Ooh, I do think this brush is ideal for this kind of application. Take what's left over just to give it a little bit of glisten back. This is quite tacky, so if that bothers you, don't pick up this product. It's quite sticky. You can see what it did to my brush. It's all kind of stuck together now. Ooh, looks like I didn't quite have enough powder when I set this under eye. Let's tap out those creases. I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit more of that Milani powder. Now let's do some brows. This is the MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint. I can't use the powder side because there's castor oil involved in that formulation, but I really enjoyed this for the pen side. And I love this for more natural makeup days because it doesn't look like I have stuff in my brows. They do need to expand this range because there's not really a dark enough color for those of you who have more of like a natural black tone. And I'm just like, if I'm the second from the darkest shade, that's not very good for an eyebrow collection. I have pretty medium neutral brows and I have to use the second from the darkest shade. I bought taupe originally, but it didn't even show up on my skin. Before we set that with some brow gel, I want to use some powder highlighter as well, in the hopes that these synthetic fibers are not going to disturb that kind of gel we already put down. This is the e.l.f. Fluffy Eye Blender. There are no rules. You can use this for highlighting if you want to. And this is the ColourPop highlighter in the shade Here Kitty Kitty. I picked this up because several people on YouTube recommended this, and it was quite some time ago, but I have not yet tried out a ColourPop highlighter individually that is not too dark for me. I thought this would be a good chance to try this out. I love it when I'm talking to you and I totally forgot to hit record. Anyway, we left off right before I tapped some highlighter onto my face, that on top of where we put this kind of tacky gloss, just so we wouldn't disturb anything. And then I put some on my inner corners as well, before going in with some NYX Clear Brow Gel on my brows. And then I realized that the camera was not recording, and here we are. I wanted to show you guys the new CoverGirl Flourish by Lash Blast mascara. I think this does a good job of defining and lengthening a little bit, maybe adding a little bit extra curl, but otherwise this is not my typical mascara. This is not volumizing, that's normally what I go for, but I do really enjoy this one and it's worn really well for me in the last few days when I've been trying it out. I applied a little bit of the Fenty Diamond Milk Gloss Balm on my lips. This is our completed look. I hope you enjoyed doing this with me today. If you are looking forward to moving vlogs, give this video a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. Anyway, I hope this video finds you well wherever you are, day or night, and I hope that you keep dreaming. I'll see you in my next video.